Takuma Ino has gone from a background character who wasn't worthy of wearing Nanami's watch to a character that has stolen people's hearts despite his minimal interactions throughout the entire series. However, one thing that people don't really seem to understand is his curse technique. A curse technique that allowed Ino to survive combat against the King of Curses himself, Sukuna. Ino's curse technique is known as Seance, Auspicious Beast Summon. And in case you didn't know, auspicious basically means something that is favourable or something that will be successful. For example, a birthday is an auspicious occasion. A wedding is an auspicious occasion. Something that is auspicious is basically something that is positive and will probably bring fortune, which is a pretty apt name for a curse technique, as when Ino uses this curse technique, battles tend to go in his favour. Something of note about this technique itself is that since Ino was enrolled in a Jujutsu tech through his family lineage, it's fair to say that Seance Auspicious Beast Summon is an inherited technique too. Now, we have technically seen 3 uses of this curse technique in chronological order. During the Night Parade of 1,000 Demons, at least in the anime version, against some fodder curse spirits. He uses it in his battle against Old Lady Ogawa and her grandson, and then attempts to use it against Toji, unsuccessfully. He also uses it in the current battle against Sukuna. Now, what actually is his cursed technique?
He then casted his maximum technique, Malevolent AA-12 with a switch, stack.
AA-12's aside, Auspicious Beast Summon as a curse technique is kind of unique in both its very intriguing method of activation as well as what specifically Ino summons. When Ino covers his face, he acts as sort of a medium for 4 select spirits. If for whatever reason Ino's face covering is removed, the curse technique deactivates. However, with 3 out of the 4 beasts, the spirit itself isn't summoned, but instead their abilities are manifested for Ino to use. They aren't really summoned to be used in battle, like Shikigami or the cursed spirits from Cursed Spirit Manipulation. Beast number 1, Kaichi. Beast number 2, Reiki. Beast number 3, Kirin. Beast number 4, Ryu. Now, why should I sit here and explain what each of these beasts are in my own words when Ino can do it for me? From these mid-chapter pages from volume 12. Beast number 1, Kaichi. A horn that automatically homes in on its targets. It hurts if you get stabbed. It can even draw blood. Wow, Ino really showing how dangerous he can be. Also, if you don't know, if Ino hits you, you might even get a bruise. So it's basically just a tracking projectile that can do a bit more than simply cause a target to bleed. I mean, just look at the fight with Ogawa's grandson. He's missing chunks of his flesh from being hit by Kaichi. Beast number 2, Reiki. Cursed water that covers your body. Use it as a cushion for defense. If you cover your feet with it, you can move by sliding around. So this passively boosts his agility and speed in combat, as well as boosts his defense. I mean, given his ability to take attacks from the King of Curses, this gives a pretty feasible explanation on top of the anti-Sukuna squad's increased defense through curse reinforcement, which is pretty cool. Beast number 3, Kirin. Drugs the brain. Feeling body pains? Magically gone? Like poof. For those who can't afford to take the day off, beware the crash after the effects wear off. Kirin, like Reiki, is seemingly another passive boost given to Ino from this curse technique. Kirin, despite its namesake being one of the most over-the-top jutsu in all of Naruto that Sasuke barely whips out for some reason, as well as one of the most annoying creatures in all of Monster Hunter, in Jujutsu Kaisen it's a lot more reserved in its representation here. Kirin seems like it passively reduces Ino's fatigue, as well as increasing his reaction time and small things like that, because it's pretty much just doping. It's possible that Kirin is also a timed ability, meaning that it probably only works for so long, or it will deactivate after Ino takes so much damage, as during the battle with Sukuna, after Ino's Ryu is destroyed and Yuji continues his Black Flash barrage, Ino states that there goes Kirin too. Maybe he's just referring to the fact that this battle with Sukuna has been going on for an extended period of time and he may have had it active for like this entire 10 chapter period, but who knows. And finally, beast number 4, Ryu. According to Ino himself, nobody has survived to tell the tale after fighting Ryu. So, in the absence of Ino's personal description, as well as his failed attempt against Toji, let me explain what Ryu is, as we do manage to see it during one of the latest chapters, chapter 257. As we see in this aforementioned chapter, Ino places his hands in a similar way to Hikari's idle death gamble, as cursed energy in the shape of a dragon appears around his hands. Ryu itself seemingly shoots straight from Ino's hands. Ryu shoots forth and attacks Sukuna directly, taking him off guard. Its design is in a similar realm to Geto's Rainbow Dragon, but it's probably a bit stronger simply due to the fact that the Rainbow Dragon was destroyed by Toji in a single attack and not getting much of a chance to really do any damage to Toji before being sliced in half, whilst Ryu is able to surprise and reach the King of Curses. Granted, it's not for long, but having a grade 1 to special grade level spirit to summon at will is pretty strong. Also, it's possible that Ino can just simply summon Ryu whenever he really wants to, as long as he's fast enough. In the cases we see Ino Ino on the back rope or in front of a threat that he deems as above him or someone who's just really strong, his instant reaction is to summon Ryu, suggesting that there isn't any other restrictions to summoning Ryu specifically. He just needs to do the hand seal and wear his mask, and he can summon Ryu. I bring this up as the way Ino describes Ryu as this big deal that no one survives. It suggests that maybe there's some extra prerequisites to summoning him, but that might not be the case. Overall, Ino's curse technique is a unique case of a unique case among sorcerers, as it is a summoning technique similar to curse spirit manipulation or the 10 shadows technique, but it uses beasts, which are seemingly a select group of 4 curse spirits, and on top of that, it is strange in its restrictions of summoning, requiring his face to be covered to allow him to act as a medium for these spirits, hence the word seance in the ability. But the beasts he summons, for the most part, aid Ino through giving him their abilities instead of directly aiding him in combat, like the divine dog of the 10 shadows would do, with the exception of Ryu, of course. With this ability alone, I believe Ino was grade 1 level even before the fight with Sukuna, but now during this battle in Shinjuku, it's fair to say that he's probably a jump above that. Anyway, that's pretty much all there is to know about Takuma Ino's Seance Auspicious Beast Summon. Maybe we'll see him use it one more time before the end of the series, but to be honest, I doubt it. He seems out for the count, and even if he does use it, he doesn't have any more summons for us to see. Small PS here, as there are 2 more things of note regarding Ino's CT. Number 1, I didn't flat out state it earlier, but it seems that Ino has to use hand seals, similar to the 10 shadows, in order to summon the abilities of the 4 auspicious beasts. We see this most clearly with Ryu and Kaichi, and we'll probably never know if Kirin requires one due to its purely passive nature, but maybe it does and maybe it doesn't. Number 2, well, I guess I was wrong about him being out for the count, because he is seemingly staying alive inside of Sukuna's malevolent shrine, and on top of that, he is seemingly doing the stance for the new Shadow-style Simple Domain, which, as you may or may not know, I am very much a fan of. But since he is alive here, as well as using the Simple Domain post-Kirin, it seems that Ino might be in this till the very end, but only time will tell. Outro time. Well, with this video, I wanted to make something a bit shorter than I usually make, as my most recent videos haven't been doing as well as I'd hoped, so I'm kind of putting the Yorozu video on the back burner a little bit and focusing on some shorter videos that are a bit more topical to the current release of JJK. I do promise though that I am still doing little bits and pieces on this Yorozu video, but before it comes out, I'll do some quicker videos explaining specific curse techniques, curse tools, curse spirits, whatever. Let me know what you think needs explaining or what you want me to talk about. And with that being said, toodles my doodles, hope I see you in the next one. Peace.